This is a Red FM Vancouver podcast. Make sure you hit subscribe for more great content. For further info, log on to redfm.ca.
ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਹਨ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਐਂਡਰੂ ਵਿਲਕਿਨਸਨ ਉਹ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਮੌਜੂਦਾ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਬਾਰੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਣ ਬਾਰੇ Mr. Wilkinson, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good. Thank you very much for joining us today. And tell us a little bit more, what your thoughts about this Rob Fleming's plan opening schools?
Well, you raised very valid questions with Mr. Fleming. Start with an obvious one. If one high school can do hybrid learning with some students online, some students in class, why can't every high school do it? I mean, high schools in grade 11 and 12, the students are completely ready to do this. So why isn't it being offered? The second thing is that the NDP have said that they're encouraging people to do what they call distributed learning. Well, they cut $12 million out of that budget in the spring to make it more difficult to do distance learning, not easier. The third item, obviously, is our universities and colleges and all of our private schools are doing online schooling. My daughter is going to be doing her fourth-year university this fall from home. So if that can be done, why can't it be done for high school students? And then there's the obvious question of multi-generation families. How can we assure these families with grandparents in the household that the grandparents are safe when the kids come home? And Mr. Fleming says, well, they should go and get a doctor's note. Well, there are 640,000 students in the school system in British Columbia. Are they all supposed to go to the doctor between now and August 26th? It's ridiculous. I mean, this is a strange approach when the people of British Columbia who are entitled to grade K-12 education are saying we want a change in the system to make sure we're all safe. And the education minister says, too bad, show up to school unless you have a doctor's note. But some of you will get distance learning, but you don't know that until you show up for school on September the 8th. We have seen outbreaks in schools in the United States. This is a lethal disease, and what we have seen is an education minister who does not take this very seriously in terms of what the people of British Columbia want for their K-12 students.
What else do you think can be done? The students and the teachers should be tested prior to entering the schools in September, or there should be other measures? And another thing is, are you raising some kind of questions to them about that now the onus of proof is burden of proof is on parents to prove that their kids are at risk for them to receive an education?
This is a very valid point, and I think you probably know that in British Columbia the testing rate has been about 1/3 to 1/4 of what it is in Canada on average. So if this is the program that Mr. Fleming and the NDP think is going to be workable in the fall, there's going to have to be a huge increase in testing capacity dealing with schools for both teachers and students. And secondly, why is the onus, as you say, why is the burden being put on parents to run off to the doctor's office to get a certificate before the end of this month? That'll be 500,000 doctor's appointments to try and get a piece of paper to take to the school to say that their child should be learning on a distance basis. This should have been sorted out months ago. They had their trial in June. They've had 5 months to figure this out. And here we are at the last minute with Fleming and the NDP saying, go and get a doctor's note or you better show up at school.
Any message to the parents today?
It's a stressful time for parents. Parents are worried about their jobs. Parents are worried about the future. Parents are worried about the health of their children. And in multi-generation families, parents are worried about their own parents, the grandparents in the household. So the job of government is to reduce fear, to create certainty, to ensure there's hope. And what we're seeing is that the NDP have somehow left this to the last possible minute and are now telling people the burden is on them. Otherwise, their kids have to show up on September 10th. This has been very, very poorly thought through.
Mr. Wilkinson, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Thind. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another Red FM podcast. Don't forget to hit subscribe and check out our Red FM Canada YouTube channel. For further info, log on to our Red FM social media platforms or visit redfm.ca.